Welcome back to Judith Plains, Montana. I'm BP, and this is the 555 Challenge. We are in December, guys. It is cooling off, and we have a whole bunch of things to get done today before the snow arrives. I'm hoping the snow comes next month. So first on our list is going to be getting some manure into our greenhouses. They are just starting to run a little bit low, and we gotta make sure we keep them topped off because they are our big money makers on the farm right now. So let's go ahead and unlock that axle and head over there and do that. As you guys can see, we have the Volvo hooked up to the step deck here, and we have all of our bread loaded up, a whole bunch of it. I actually started this with the Super Duty in our regular production pulling trailer, and we had so much bread, it didn't all fit on there. So had to swap it out and get the Volvo out of the shed and hook it up and bring it over and get all of that bread on the trailer. Now that I did run up to the bakery this morning and pick up that bread as well. So we have all the bread for the bakery and all the bread from our storage on that trailer. And as soon as we're done with this, the price is really, really good down at the Hobson Strip Mall. So we're going to run it down there and do that. I did forget 3 bales yesterday when we were doing some work on the field. As you guys saw on the montage at the beginning, we got the cornfield plowed, and I did pick up a rock picker. So I leased it, did the rocks, put it into the lime facility, and I think we had like 3,700 liters of rocks in there. So we should get about 7,000 liters of lime out of that, which will be great. So just checking here real quick, one of these had significantly less than the other. So the third one is very low. Second one has about 2,000, and the third one, and the first one I should say, has about 4,000. So we've got a $5,000, $5,000. So maybe we'll put 4 in the third one, and then 2 in the, well, let's see, 2. Yeah, let's start with putting 5 in this one. So that'll take us down to about 4,000. And then we'll put 2.5 in the second one and 1.5 in the last one. All right, there we go. And we make this turn without getting on our field. This is why we love the little tractor. Look at that turning radius, just exactly what we needed. So we're going to put about 2,500 liters into this greenhouse. Leave us just under. No, do we not have the trigger? Oh, we had the trigger here. There we go. Just wasn't quite there yet, apparently. And that should put us back up into good stead for keeping the greenhouses moving over the winter. Yep, and then we'll put the least amount in this one, and then we'll come back and see how we did. So let's see. The third greenhouse has 6,000, the second one has 4,400, and the first one has 5,000. So we're pretty balanced. Not great, but not terrible either. So while we're here, I'm going to disconnect real quick and make sure we got water in all of these. And then we got some work to do, guys, because once we sell the bread, I've got another master plan. We are picking up a field today. It's going to be a bit of a challenge financially as usual, but we've just got to commit to the growth. So I'll tell you guys right now, we're going to be picking up the grass field 64 right up here across from field 60 where we expanded the grass field. That one's $246,000. Wow, I feel like that price went up. Maybe we won't be able to afford that. We'll have to see. But if we cut that today and put the grass in the silage silo, we can sell that and hopefully pay our next month's payment on the loan. And then on top of that, I think we'll get one more cut off of that field before we have to put, or before we choose to put corn into it. I think we get 2 cuts, hopefully make $75,000 or $80,000 off that field, and then we will come back with corn in that field to get our whiskey production up, just depending on when we have to plant. So that's the plan. It's going to make getting through winter a little bit tough, but we're going to figure it out. And like I said, if we don't buy more field and get more animals and increase our productions, we just will never get done with the challenge. So we can't just keep the status quo. All right, almost done with the watering. Feels almost like a couple of these got missed yesterday when I did them. They seem to be taking a lot of water, so glad we came over and got these guys topped off. They are definitely our big producers right now. I did switch the last wheat greenhouse we had for the chickens over to distributing. I think I took 10,000 liters of wheat out of that greenhouse, put it in the chicken coops. We had about 25,000 liters. The chickens don't seem to be going through very much grain right now, even though we have 500 of them. So I'm thinking we'll leave both wheat greenhouses on distributing to the flour mill and then eventually to the bakery for bread. And when we need chicken food, we'll just turn one back to storing for, you know, a day or two and then collect it and go from there. We also have a lot of leftover barley based on how much whiskey we plan on producing, which is part of the reason I was thinking about buying that grass field and turning it into a corn field so we could more effectively get through all of our barley. Because remember, that was our first harvest. Actually, that wasn't even our first harvest. That was the last harvest off the small field, and we have that expansion we put on the barley field for this round of harvesting. So we're going to have even more barley, so we just need more corn to make more whiskey. All right, let's get the Brantner run back up to the farm. We'll jump into the Volvo and head down to the Hobson strip mall and get all of that bread sold. I guess I'm hoping we make $150,000 on the bread, because we need $150,000 to buy that field, and that is the plan for today. So we'll just have to see how that goes. If we need to sell a couple of extra things, maybe we'll sell the wool again. But maybe we'll figure out what we can sell to get that extra money if we need it. So I'm going to get this parked up, and we'll switch over to the Volvo. I have to say, I do really enjoy our back little path here running up behind the chicken coop. Makes the farm so much more accessible for so many more pieces of equipment. Don't have to back everything in and out of the way. All right, so heading over to the Volvo. Let's get down to the Hobson Strip Mall and get this bread sold. All right, here we go. All right, so we have 66,000 liters of bread, which they claim is going to be worth $139,000. We're going to be awfully close on that field. We're going to have 143,000. Are we going to be, what, like 3,000 short or something? Is that the way we're going to be? Yeah, we'll probably be about $3,000 short, so I may have to find some way to make some more money and sell a couple things, because that grass field is ready to harvest, and if we buy it this month, we'll get a second cut off of it before we plow it up and turn it into a cornfield. So anyways, I will see you guys down at the Hobson Strip Mall. We are arriving at the Hobson Strip Mall, and I have to say, I am not excited about taking this big truck through the back here. This first part isn't going to be bad, but the exit could be a real challenge. All right, try to get it all sold at once. Okay, 134,000. We have $238,000. We need 246. We are $8,000 short. All right, here we are, attempting to get out of here. Riding the rail here, this corner right here. Ooh, boy, that is going to be snug. And then we got to hook all the way back up the other way. Woo! Made it. Was not sure we were going to do that, guys. Well, I got to find $8,000. So I'm going to head back up to the farm, take a look at what we have. I imagine it's going to be wool. We could always sell some corn stalk bales. They're really worth nothing. We have a whole bunch of them, though. We have a tiny bit of milk, a tiny bit of goat's milk, a tiny bit of buffalo milk, a couple pallets of eggs. And we have some oil down at the oil shops, but pre-selling that before the best price is really, that would be a big hit to make 8 grand. So I have to get up there and figure it out. So I will get back to the farm, make a plan, and come back to you guys when I have a solution. Well, I think I got it figured out, guys. We're heading down to the Montana Hay Company with a huge load of corn stalk bales. I'm hoping this is going to be about $22,000 worth of corn stalk bales. This is all of, not even all of, this is some of the harvest of the last cornfield, what was left over. We haven't even burned through the first set of corn stalk bales from the first corn harvest. So I figure having these on the farm, great to have a backup, but not really something we need to keep around when we're looking for cash. I have not been down to the Montana Hay Company. It is down there over the bridge. So the road goes up around to the left. We got to figure out where we're going. Is it cut through here? I don't think we go through there. The McDonald's parking lot doesn't connect. Okay. Oh, maybe it's up here. This looks like a good option. A nice tight turn for us. All right, let's see if this wanders down to where we need to be. And hopefully this takes care of our financial problems in regards to buying the field, because as soon as we buy the field, we're going to be right back into some financial hardship. But it's all right. We're used to it. We're committed. I did find a couple other things we could sell to make some money. Wow, that is a steep hill. Ooh, riding the brakes. Let's not tip over coming in. Up. Okay. Apparently that tree branch is made of reinforced Kevlar or something. Just stopped us dead in our tracks. All right, let's see. Is the sell point right where the marker is? No. Oh, yes. Okay. Going too fast. Let's see. 260 at 23,000 plus the last two. Another 8. So $24,000 in bales. Makes us happy. We can buy the grass field. Is at 62. I'm going to head back up to the farm. I'm going to grab the Magnum and we'll drive over to that field. We'll buy it and we'll start the mowing right off the rip and get that started. We have a couple other projects that we need to do while the mowing is getting done. So we'll jump back to the farm after we start the mowing, get those things knocked out, make sure we're all taken care of here. It is December. The temperature is falling slowly. Still in the 50s, but I suspect January, February, we're going to be in some potential snow. So I want to make sure we have our animals fed and taken care of, our fields all prepped. Anything that needs to be done with those, I want to get done today too. So if we end up having a snow day in January or February, if we don't get out and get much field work done or much farmyard work done, we'll still be in a really good spot. So I will see you guys up at the new field with the case and the mowers when we get back. We are heading down to the new field. As you guys can see, Jack Daniels on the left. There is what we were calling our new grass field. The one we're going to buy is all the way across the river, so we have to take the bridge to get there. I don't know if we're going to call that one the new grass field or not. We're going to get a couple of cuts off of it, and it'll probably end up being the new cornfield long term. So for now, it's the newest grass field. But probably won't be, like I said, for very long. So, man, that waterfall is so cool, so well done. So, here we are. Let's pull off here and get over and get this piece of land purchased. I want to show you guys, this one's sort of deceptively large. So, heading over to the PDA, this field is 10.15 acres. The one we bought previously was just under 8. We expanded it to maybe 8.5, 8 3/4. Our existing grass field is 11, almost 12. So this is a sizable field. It's right in the middle of our 2 grass fields. I think it's going to be a great addition to our corn. Our corn field as it sits now is 18.8, so just about 19. So we're going to be adding 50% more corn to our harvest when this is all said and done. So we'll be making about 50% more whiskey too. So excited for all that. So $246,431. Yes, we want to buy it. I'd love to have the contract mod on this playthrough where we could, you know, be doing some contracts and getting some discounts on pieces of land, but that's not within the rules. So we are just going to take what we're given and be happy with it. So I'll go ahead and grab an edge here. Let's get this guy all set up. We want to do 2 headlands, no rounded corners. Let's create that course. Perfect. Love that we're running the long edge of the field, which is the way this field should be cut. Make sure we get all squared up and taken care of. Just make sure this guy makes the first corner or so and is doing what he needs to do. Yeah, look at all that nice, beautiful, tall, rich grass. It's going to be in silage and making us money real soon here, guys. See what he does here on this first corner. This is really, there's really no obstacles on this field. A nice big field, wide open edges. Okay, don't back up too far, my friend. There's a cliff there. All right, well, we're getting a little bonus grass around the outside edge. Can't complain about that. So, cool. We're going to let him work. And we are going to cross over here. And that is good looking. Here we go, ready? And we'll jump over. Haha, kept our feet dry. All right, so heading back to the farm, we have a couple other projects to get done. First and foremost, we need to get the sheep fed. We're going to, which will get hit by an ice cream truck. That'd be a dairy disaster. And go ahead and get the sheep fed, make sure they're all taken care of. They weren't super low, but they're starting to get there. We haven't done a hay cut at all this year. I'm not sure we're going to need one yet, but we're getting more and more sheep as we go, so we're going to need hay long term. So I want to keep them topped off, so if we do end up missing a cut and have to wait for the grass to grow back, we are all right with that. So feeding troughs look a little low, and it says they are at 4,115 liters of hay out of 120. Now, what's interesting, guys, I want to share with you guys real quick. We've been getting wool and getting a lot of it, but in Arrow's Realistic Livestock mod, which we're using on this playthrough, sheep don't produce wool in the winter. They keep it on to stay warm. So this pallet has been sitting here. It is 242 liters full, and I imagine it will stay that way until February, maybe March. But just interesting that works, because that makes sense, and you probably shouldn't be shearing your sheep in the middle of winter. Our goat's milk, on the other hand, is continuing to come in when they're calving, or when they're having kits, I guess. It wouldn't be calving, it'd be kitting, I guess, maybe. Someone leave me a comment down below what it's called when you have kits being born. But we have 301 liters in there. So let's go ahead and grab this guy. And what do we want to use to bring hay down to sheep? I think we're going to use a Super Duty. We got the harvester parked out front from the corn harvest because we still haven't washed it. I did get it filled up with fuel. I fueled up a lot of vehicles once we had some money in the bank after the corn harvest. So we got most of them topped off. Still need to do some more maintenance on a few of them, but we'll get there when we get there and just keep driving. As long as there are problems, we will just assume that everything is going to work out. So what do we have here? Straw bales, corn stalk bales. Why do we have one? Corn stalk square bales 9,000. Corn stalk square bales 4,709. Oh, we had a partial. Got it. Okay. Hay, we have 25. We actually have 37 bales at 8,000 liters. So 20 would be 160,000 liters, which is more than that holds. So 15 would be a quarter of that, would put us right about 90. So maybe we go with 16 bales. See if we can't get the sheep pen mostly filled up. We still have a ton of hay and straw in the TMR mixer, so we're in good shape there. We can really use a lot of this. 128,000 liters. Okay, so we didn't do our math very well. That's on me. We're going to be more than full down there, which is fine. We'll leave a couple bales in the trigger and get all of them topped off. Don't hit the cement block. That's not going to be good for the trailer. There we go. Maybe we'll jump inside here real quick and try to make this a little bit easier. All right, here we go. Heading over to the sheep pen. And then I believe our new grass field, the one on this side of the river, needs some fertilizer. So we're going to get the... I was going to use the case, but I guess we're going to have to use the Magnum, but that's doing the mowing. So I guess we'll have to get the quad track out to spread manure. That'll be quite the big tractor for that. I wonder if our manure spreader can use... if the horsepower on the Versatile is enough to run the manure spreader. We'll have to check that. I think it might struggle. And that field, as many of you have been commenting, and I love the comments on the series, that field, the slope on that down to the river is significant. Small tractors, anything that is close to underpowered, heading down that hill has a hard time getting back up. And I had, I think, 3 or 4 comments on a video about that recently, so we'll have to be careful not to use the Versatile if it is underpowered or even a little bit close as far as power goes. So let's get, and it is muddy in here, hoping not to get the trailer stuck. Okay, I think that's gonna about do it. I assume we're in the trigger. Perhaps we're not. We're too high. Okay. Well, let's see if we can get... Oh, we're running over the pallet of wool. There we go. Ran it over. Let's see if we can get... This is... We're going to end up getting the truck and the trailer wedged up here if we're not careful. Okay, so let's see about doing an unload. That seemed to do it. Yeah, just... I think the trailer was too high. Oh, perfect. And then the extra bales will just hang out there until they're needed. So the sheep are completely topped off and ready to go for the winter. All right, guys, excuse me. I got to come through here. I'm going to try to sneak through between all you guys. Okay, excuse me, pardon me. We got a goat and a sheep commingling there. There's a sheep coming out of the barn. Nothing to see there, folks. Don't even take a look. All right, so first off, we got to go fix the wool pallet. That sheep, go back. Oh, no, that's not what we wanted to see either. So, all right, let's see. Put the wool pallet back in. Get the doors closed up. You guys can see how steep this map is. Speaking of steep terrain, the front wheels of the trailer are not even touching the ground here. Lots of slopes. Makes the map a lot of fun to drive. Definitely need some high horsepower equipment to get everything done here. You don't want to be stuck on the hills with too little horsepower. So let's get parked here. And I don't really remember how much power our Versatile has. So let's see. Versatile is 272. And our manure spreader is 265. Yeah, I think that's far too close for that field. I think we need a little bit more horsepower than that. Let's let's get the harvester parked and put away, washed and put away, so we can get the quad track out. Been waiting to do this all day and just need to stop putting it off and just get it done. This has been a really, really good harvester for us. Done a great job. Some of those mud streaks off on that side. I think we are about almost there. The mud's almost gone. All right, definitely need a new paint job on this guy, but only so much we can do. When we have millions in the bank, we'll get a new paint job for the harvester. At that point, we'll probably have a couple of harvesters, I would hope. With 500 acres, it's going to be tough doing that on one harvester. Okay, nice and easy by the fences. Get tucked in here. Okay, let's lower, attach, so we don't have any stress on the system while we're parked up for winter. Okay. Oh, well, what do we do here? Oh, we jump back in. Alright, so I think we're in good shape. I think we're actually just going to close this shed up. We don't really need to access the harvester for a while. No point in having it exposed to the elements. So... Nope, don't want that. Can we... Shed door open? Perfect. Speaking of power washer, I think our case is pretty dirty. Alright, so the manure spreader is down at the buffalo barn, but it doesn't, there's no manure down there because we took all of that to the greenhouses to keep things moving. We'll have to run back here and get manure from the dairy barn. And then we'll get this guy set up, and we'll probably call an episode there. I'm going to bale up the newest grass field and put that into the fermenting silo. Man, the windshield on this thing is dirty. Don't mind us. We're just cutting through the farm, driving on the grass. And get that into the fermenting silo or the silage silo and then immediately sell it because $16,000 is not going to be enough to keep us afloat for next month. And as far as I can tell, silage is always good to sell on this map, which I love. That's just a great fallback, product to have, and we can make it easily with grass. So it's been nice to have that. So I'll get all that sold so that we can afford to make our payments in January. And I don't think we have anything to sell until either February or March. I think one of our oils, maybe the rice oil, is going to be in good shape. But anyways, we'll get the manure spread, we'll get the grass baled and picked up on the newest grass field. We're going to get the manure spread on this guy. We did get the sheep fed, which they desperately needed. We sold all that bread, all 66,000 liters of that bread, and in order to keep our money coming in, we did get the manure into the greenhouses for our oil production. And you guys can see, man, look at that mower across the river. That is so cool to see our farm extending out further and further. That is really, really cool. So, thank you guys so much for joining me today. Don't forget to drop a like and turn on notifications for more videos. And I'll see you in the next one.